Buenas noches, vamos a seguir con la quest que la tengo un poco abandonada, así que vamos a darle. Vamos a ver qué nos depara aquí con la quest. Vamos a ver. Vamos a reaccionar a la quest. A ver cómo nos va. Vamos a cambiar de personaje.
I charge a higher rate to meet outside the office.
Evil shall be dispersed.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional.
You've got a deal. I can't.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict.
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the... Osford told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen... Well, given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon...
Preguntarle a la gente, vamos a preguntarle para que...
Welcome. Welcome.
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question.
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the academia, let alone graduate. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's... you see over there? Those are students from the academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better.
Those students seem to be
Ande bochinchosos, ande bochinchosos. Para acá de aquí. Ande bochinchosos.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking...
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to... Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about King Deshret and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that?
They're called Ain el Akhmar. Today,
Wait, come again?
Oh, eso que estamos buscando.
Don't you
¿Qué es lo que
see?
están buscando?
Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with... They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that... I've heard that Ain el Akhmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're...
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to...
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge?
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in.
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of... So, what's our plan? Wait! Didn't you hear what they just said? buying information is going to cost us 500,000 mora. Oh, all right. Paimon never thought.
Yo no conozco mucho.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Oh, you've arrived. Please take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Huh! Once we...
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also...
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists?
Yeah, with boss's fervent devotion.
Huh. All these guys talk about is King De...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when King Deshret exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Traidores.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We...
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A traveler?
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say Eremites are wary of outsiders?
A student? Huh. What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it? Huh?
Oh! Sorry! He must have grabbed the wrong amount! Hey, what do you think you're doing? Paimon can't stand this.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention King Deshret just now. We're at...
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, as you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout. Years ago, King Deshret founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization. King Deshret was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion.
So, you mean...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed King Deshret's civilization. And furthermore, she conspired with the academia to cover up the truth of her actions and create the merciful and benevolent facade for But the story doesn't end there, oh no. King Deshret isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all fall. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of King Deshret. I don't have anything to say to you academia people about that. I think this conversation has...
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
You again? Deranged
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group, once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then
Hey! Shut it all, Hatham! What are you playing?
I told you the other day. I wish to
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Ark... If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know... I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss.
What?
Consider this. Have I ever.
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too. Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's... He went that way! After him!
What happened next?
Wait up! It's Al-Haytham, right?
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them, since they weren't able to make up. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have some... Since you tore through their scam right...
Who exactly are you two? And why are you a student? Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! He's really strong.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting.
All right. I accept. Got a pen and paper? We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's info...
You were willing to part with 500,000 mora for some... Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can be... Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get...
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't...
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what in...
That's amazing!
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in they were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove... Well, I think that about sums it up. Ah, so that's your... With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Fine. Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with... I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality goods in stock. Some say that she's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't... I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it's soon... Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privilege.
Fine.
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for Mora and a shrewd eye for weight. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest...
What? We only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which...
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh? That's a surprise. Get... Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look this...
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
How'd it go?
Yeah.
Did you see anything?
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through... That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password. And here is the more... Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal... The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back... Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the...
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's in... Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.
Hello. What are you two looking to buy?
Wait, are you sure you're remembering that right? Hyman doesn't think it was that on the paper.
What a unique palette. We have
Following the paper got us past the first round.
Ronak, these two want to buy unripe...
Got it. You two, please follow me. You two have a fascinating fashion sense. We haven't seen a customer wearing a Sumeru rose for quite some time.
Hold on. Let me think. Sumeru rose means common merch. No, look again. We're obviously wearing morning flowers.
Ah, my mistake. I do apologize.
Whew. That pop quiz sure was scary.
Ah, the warehouse is up ahead. Please follow me. Before I retrieve your products, I need to confirm a few. Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by mice.
Hold on. That's not right. Taken by...
I'm sorry. But as things currently stand...
He's cautious of us. Let's take a closer look at the...
Rayos, perdí.
Before I retrieve your products, please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by mice. Thanks. If better goods come in, you look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Yep, that's the right answer. But eating hara fruit that makes your...
Would you like your hara fruits to be packaged in the Sumeru City or Port Ormos style? Wow, you two sure are generous customers. We'll be sure to package your products. Okay, everything has been confirmed. Miss Dory is waiting for you up at... Shoot, it's the Matra! Run!
What? The mantra? Where? I'll hate them said we're done for if they catch us. We gotta get out of here. We don't know this area, so let's follow that informant. He ran that way. Look, he's over there. Hey, if you're hiding from the Rishbaland tiger, come this way. Another password. Huh? Oh, that voice came from behind the building on the right.
Here, over here. You can stop running now.
So you were the one who was calling out to us just now. But, are we definitely gonna be safe here?
These two good customers wish to buy some hara fruit, Miss Dory. And if there's nothing...
Oh, very good.
Huh? Wait, you're Dory?
Hey, what are you trying to say, Princess Pea-Brain? I can be scary enough when I need to be, but it seems you two have actually done pretty well so far. Not only did you manage to find the informant, your reactions were also pretty sharp. You don't really look like criminals or anything, but I bet my Mora that...
Paimon's not sure if that's supposed to be...
I can't risk doing business with people who start huffing and puffing after just a few paces. No matter how much Mora they might have. Not only will they get caught by the Matra, so that's why I prefer to have customers like you. It's your first time here, but don't worry, I won't ask too many questions. Even if you wish to buy enough knowledge capsules to... As long as you have lots of round, shiny Mora, then we're all good. Ah, yes, of course.
Wow, she has a trove of canned knowledge. Whew.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers? Don't worry, I'm not... Take this one, for example. An analysis of the sociological ideology and dialectics of the Hilichurls. Only 3...
Yeesh, who would want to be an expert in that?
Or how about the architecture? With this one, you can become an expert in historic architecture preservation and find an excellent, well-paying job in nearly...
Ooh, now this sounds...
2 million Mora, and it's yours.
Whoa, that's a lot of...
Of course, you are free to pick whatever your heart's desire. The contents and price of each note.
All right, let's try the method that Al-Haytham mentioned.
Energía elemental. Tres, buenas.
Ah, you've really...
We'll take these, please and thank you.
My oh my! You are blessed with a taste for both the exquisite and the extravagant. Listen, I have a special offer for you two. If you spend just 100,000 more or more, you can pick.
Say what now? Hey, did you hear that? Spend another 100K and we get a capsule worth a whole million!
Exacto.
But all the canned knowledge we just bought is easily worth 500,000 mora. If we spend just a little... Think about it. We've gone to all this trouble to get this canned knowledge. And so far, everything we bought belongs to all Hatham. Aren't you even the least bit curious about how this whole canned knowledge thing works? We're talking instant knowledge here. Don't you want to try it yourself? Come on, come on. We still have around 100,000 of Al-Haytham's moral left. So let's put it to good use by finding something useful.
Excellent! And then please, select from this...
Hold on a second. Paimon thought we could choose whatever we wanted. What?
Oh, but my dear customer, the knowledge capsules over here are worth 1 million mora each.
Uh-oh. Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Let's use Elemental Sight again to check these.
Ay, Dios mío. Ninguna sirve.
So, what did you see? So, they're all worth about the same amount?
Oh, sí.
Well, anyway, the mora's already been spent, so let's at least try to find something useful. Let Paimon take a look here. An introduction to traditional Sumeru brewing techniques. The art of growing Not sure we'd ever find volumes 1 through 7, but at least this knowledge should be useful, right? Let's go with this one. Dory, we'll take this one.
All right, very good. I'm expecting some new goods in the next couple days, so be sure to check back again soon.
Our dealings with Dory went smoothly enough. Let's head to Wakala Funduk and meet up with Al-Haytham.
Un total atraco.
Hopefully now he'll finally tell us about what...
Un atraco iniciado en
History is sometimes
esta
even more exciting.
Ah, no, sí es así. Ok. Un total atraco fue lo que pasó aquí. Ni se dio cuenta. La página. Nunca avancé.
You two made it.
Whoa. There's so many people from the academia here. Why would you pick this place as our meetup spot?
Well, Wakela Funduk is under the Academia's control, so naturally the Academia has people working here.
You're a pretty daring...
Relax. No one here is interested in anything we say, and the Matcha won't come.
El encuentro con Dory fue un total
Okay,
atraco.
we did what you asked. So, can you tell us about...
Before that, I have to ask. Why are you two so intent on tracking it down? You don't have to answer, of course.
Yeah, he just wants to meet the God of Wisdom and ask her about something important. We've been... When we heard that the Academia had lost something that might be related to the...
In that case, you're on the right track. A short while ago, the Academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. It's supposedly a divine knowledge...
Wow, there's really such a thing as that? Hey, if we find it, do you think we could learn how to meet the Dendro Archon?
I highly doubt it has any mystical properties.
So, where exactly?
That's what we need to find out next. I won't deny that. I am investigating because As you know, the Eremites in Port Ormos also have their eyes on it. It is an extremely precious... Several brigades have been vying for ownership of it as of late. My personal finances and connections cannot compete with those of the Eremites. I agreed to forego ownership of the Divine Knowledge Capsule in exchange for the opportunity. However, there are those who are less amenable to negotiate.
They adamantly believe that the Divine Knowledge Capsule contains King Deshret's power, and that he will return to this world when they obtain.
So you kept hounding them because they refused to cooperate with you?
Yes. Ain al-Ahmar isn't exactly wealthy, but its members are determined to get that capsule by any means necessary. So, I've been sabotaging their business to force the Divine Knowledge Capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Each brigade will place their own bid, and the prize will be covertly given to the winner. To ensure the capsule's security and to evade the Matra's notice, the winning brigade will... Unless I know whose hands the Divine Knowledge Capsule ends, Dory is the most reliable source of information, but that avenue was previously...
In other words, you wanted us to befriend Dory, so...
Yes, you can say that. But this arranged... The day after tomorrow, go back to Dory and try to purchase information on the Divine Knowledge Capsule's whereabouts. If I get the opportunity to study the Divine Knowledge Capsule, I will relay my findings to you. Will that suffice as compensation? Okay. Then we'll...
Al-Haytham, before you go, we actually...
You two want to try using a knowledge capsule? Doing so right under the Academia's nose is a bit
¿Cómo que por aquí?
All right. This place works.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule.
Really? Ah, yeah, what a great buy!
If you want to determine the efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, we can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles. While you fight, we can use an Akasha terminal to monitor your... There may be variances in your physical strength between the 2 tests, as well as a disparity in your opponent's abilities.
Wow! Al-Haytham! You must... Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the academe.
When you are unable to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed...
Sounds like you're trying to...
All right, let's begin the test. Just...
Motion to compel. Incinerate.
All right. I'll link your Akasha. The next step is to use this. Hold it in your hand.
decente esto.
Hey, how are you feeling? You mean that it worked?
All right. Time for round 2.
Time for your arraignment! Motion to compel! I swear by my sword! Ha! To incinerate! Ha! To ashes! Ha! Ha! Ja!
Now, I'll start.
Oh, hey, Thumb.
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve his combat capability. During the second fight, his overall fighting performance increased by 0.073%.
Wait, how much?
0.073%. ¿Qué es eso?
Dory's such a jerk! She totally scammed us!
Of course, this could be because he is so powerful that the capsule's content. At the very least, this test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. I'm heading back to Ikela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time.
Está soltando billetes.